Hello Internet and welcome to my channel.
B
Today
lockdown.
we're going to be going over live service
Locking
games
down Charlie.
explained. So we're going to talk about what is a live
Losing
service
Bravo.
game, some of the
Taking
tactics
C.
that they use,
We control zone
and why
C.
some of them are failing. So
We're
first
losing
off,
Charlie.
what is a live
Losing
service
B.
game?
Taking
Generally
cars. Stay on
speaking, it is
task.
a game that receives constant updates and content,
Losing
whether that be
Bravo.
balance patches or new
Lost B.
skins, cosmetics, kind
Enemy
of
UAV
anything you
detected.
can think of, new characters, new gameplay elements,
Securing B.
all of that stuff, content and updates. Generally
Enemy care
speaking,
package dropping.
they're multiplayer games, not always,
You're
but
falling behind,
generally
Bravo.
because you
Bravo is
can
ours.
generally get more people
Got the
playing
lead.
with you, and that'll keep you playing more than you might
Losing B.
otherwise. Typical genres that live service games tend to inhabit are shooters. Some examples would be Call of Duty, Fortnite, the new Battlefield 6. Those are all live service games of varying degrees and quality and whatnot. Some
Bravo
common
lost.
MMOs most MMOs are live service games to be fair, but some of the big ones are definitely like World of Warcraft, Final Fantasy XIV. I'm sure most of you have heard of those. Then, a new genre of live service games, well, I say new, but new-ish, it's gaining more popularity recently, is gacha or like live RPGs, Destiny 2, Genshin Impact,
Losing B.
Warframe, games like that, which I don't want to say they're new because Warframe and Destiny have been around for a very long time, but they're just now starting to catch on with some other games attempting to compete in that space. Now, all these games have in common is they're meant to be these forever games that you play for years and years and years, and that's the intent from the very beginning.
Losing B.
Now, as many of you know, that doesn't always happen, but that's the goal, is they want you to play essentially forever, because if you play a game more, you're going to spend more money. Now, speaking of money, some of the major tactics that they use are battle passes, loot boxes, event passes, and if you're on mobile, you get lots of ads. So, the battle passes can cost anywhere from $50K for an indie studio. Those are going to be like, what's a good example? Rocket League was an indie game. That's probably the most common or likely one you would know. So they cost anywhere from $50K to several $1 million. Like the Fortnite Battle Pass, I imagine, costs $10 million or something crazy like that. These battle passes generally encompass cosmetics such as skins, emotes, animations, weapon skins, voice lines, banners, FVX, basically anything that they can add into the battle pass that you might want or might be unique that you can't get anywhere else. Now, how does this make money? The general way that it makes money is that they're cheap. Battle passes, generally rotate around $10. Some are a little bit more expensive than that, some are a little bit cheaper. I think the Fortnite Battle Pass just went up, so like they do fluctuate. Most casual pass. Oh my goodness, my cat just about knocked over my entire desk. Most casual players aren't going to complete the Battle Pass and are going to be forced to essentially buy it every season. The larger the player base is, the higher the return on investment. So essentially, the more people that are playing and buying the Battle Pass, the more money it makes. Which that seems pretty obvious, but I mean, that's the point of explaining things. Another common tactic, why I say common, it's kind of going extinct. There are definitely some games that still use it, but is loot boxes, which have many of the same costs as battle passes. You're essentially making a battle pass and just putting it in the loot boxes. It's akin to gambling, which is why it's not used super heavily anymore. There are definitely games that are still do it. I still see it a lot in the mobile space. You see a lot of loot boxes and whatnot. And that's generally because it's kind of like gambling, or Another good way to compare it would be like buying Magic cards or Pokemon cards or
Net call.
some kind of TCG. It's very similar to that. This does allow the game studio to limit what skins are easily available. So, for example, it creates this false sense of scarcity.
They're taking C.
They can make the skins as common or as rare as they want, essentially. Like, I think the old Star Wars Battlefront 2, when it first came out, like, I think to get, like, Darth Vader, like, reliably took, like, hundreds and hundreds of hours of gameplay. Which most people would never achieve without spending actual money. So, they essentially can control the scarcity and thus make things harder to obtain than they should be, forcing you to spend money because you can't realistically get them through normal means. Another common tactic that you'll see used a lot is event passes. Now, this is really popular in Marvel Rivals. You'll see these 3 or 4 times a season, which are limited time, essentially micro season passes. They normally only have a few pages, but they're normally about the same price of a battle pass. But they essentially have a limited time aspect to them to create a fear of missing out, to essentially encourage you to buy them, because they want you to buy them. So you're like, oh, I don't want to miss out on the battle pass. It also gets you playing with all the other people, and it creates a lot of benefits for the company. Keeps you playing, keeps everybody happy. Everybody's happy. Now, and then you have mobile games, which I kind of put these guys in their own section because what a mobile game can get away with and what a console or PC game. And when I say PC game, I mean like a comparative to a console game. I don't mean because like Diablo Immortals like on PC, but it's definitely a mobile game that just got ported over. So what I'm talking about here are the mobile games that like they have tons of ads. They use battle passes. They use event passes. Most of them use loot boxes too. A good example is the communist.
Securing B.
What's the name of it? Quick. Let's see if I can find it here. Now I'm having a luck finding it. Oh, Adventure Ages. Sorry, I was wrong. Adventure Ages is a really good example. They use that game uses loot boxes, battle passes, and ads. Now, that game isn't as in your face about ads, but there are definitely a lot of games that use ads. Now, that being said, other games do use ads. Like whenever you open Call of Duty, what's the first thing that happens? It shows an ad for you, hey, buy the battle pass, yada yada yada. But it's more ads for you to spend money in the game, whereas Adventure Ages gives you ads for totally different games. And some of them are AI generated, some of them aren't real, but that's a story for a whole different day. Something I might cover later in a future video, but definitely a very interesting topic.
We're losing Charlie.
Now, why are all of these companies looking to move into live service games?
Locking down Bravo.
And it's one of those instances where you have the success of the few destroying the many.
Taking Alpha.
So all of these big companies see Fortnite, they see Call of Duty, until recently they saw Destiny 2 and Warframe. These games that have been around forever, they make tons of money, they just print money. Well, every company wants to make money, so they're like, I can take a piece of, I have all these amazing IP and I pay all these developers, I can make something like that. Unfortunately, it doesn't always work out that way, because it's a very overcrowded market. There's generally, if somebody's already playing a favorite game, like if somebody's already playing Fortnite and they've been playing Fortnite for 10 or 15 years, they're not going to stop playing Fortnite after having 10 or 15 years of commitment into it to try your Concord. It's not going to happen. Like if they want to play a battle royale or a shooter, they're going to play that game. The same thing with Call of Duty and Battlefield things. Like people that have been playing these games, they're not going to just abandon them because you have a new shiny toy when they've been playing them for 10 or 15 years.
Incoming napalm strike in your AO.
Now, there are times where that does change, like Marvel Rivals stepping into Overwatch and stealing a large amount of Overwatch's player base. Now, to be fair to that situation, Overwatch, like the hero shooter market,
Bravo.
wasn't really as overcrowded as people may have thought. It's just nothing could compare to like Overwatch's essentially quality at the time. Well, Marvel Rivals came out and it did compete with the quality, so you had competition. So yeah, that's good for both of them. Both games have improved immensely since. Beyond being a highly competitive market for live service games, they're very expensive to maintain. That's why you see, like, if a company looks at a live service game, even if they've already sunk a ton of money into it, and they don't think it's going to make any money anytime soon, live service games are so expensive to maintain that they're just going to shut it down and call it a day. Concord's a great example of that. That game was up, what, 2 or 3 weeks? And then they shut it down. It may not even been that long. The other problem you run into is burnout. And this is generally when the game developer essentially can't keep up with the content requirements of a live service game. You know, otherwise you're going to get burnout, because if somebody's playing the same content for 8 to 10 hours a day, they're going to get burned out. They're going to want to play something else. And essentially, if you can't keep that content fresh and engaging, that's what's going to happen. They're going to move to something else. That's another reason that companies have a hard time competing with these games that have been around forever, because they have so much content. A player can get bored of doing one activity and just go find another one in the same game and keep playing the same game. The other thing is that a lot of these live service games struggle with, which is a greater thing in the community as a whole, is these live service games are launching unfinished, because you know, the developers, the publishers are like, okay, we can get this game out now, we can make some money off of it now, and we can finish it later. The problem is when you have games that have been around for 10 or 15 or 30 years that have taken the time to make all of this content and polish the game and made the game better, you can't launch a game that's unfinished, because you're not going to compete. You're just going to get slaughtered. They're going to play your game. They're going to be like, well, this is bad because it doesn't work. And then they're going to go play the game that does work, that's been around for 30 years. They also generally require, I say generally, they do. They don't, it's not generally, they do require massive communities, and I mean absolutely massive. You know, if you don't have an absolutely monster community, the live service game cost just is unrealistic for most people. Cat is just all up in my face. She wants all the attention. So that is a lot of the reasons, but a few more are that it's being too grindy. Like, if you make your live service game too grindy and players never feel like they're getting anywhere, they're going to go play a game where they feel like they're getting somewhere where they don't feel like their time is being wasted. Another problem is games that aren't unique enough. A good example that struggled with this was XDefiant, which came out and was like the Call of Duty killer, and it lasted, I think, a couple of years. If that, it may have only been 1 year, and they shut it down. But that game had a whole different set of issues that led to it shutting down, which is definitely something that I could 100% go over later. But yeah, it couldn't compete. It felt like playing Call of Duty like Black Ops 4 at the time. If you've ever played that game, that's what XDefiant felt like. The other thing is live service games need to stand out, so they need to be very, very unique. But that's not always enough. Like, I would say Anthem was fairly unique from a style standpoint, but not from a gameplay perspective. It felt like essentially a Destiny knockoff. A lot of your live service games that have thrived do so because they're unique. They're the first in their genre, or they're the ones that have been around. Call of Duty is a great example. You know, it's a live service game that's been around forever. And while it's not unique in the sense that it's a shooter, Call of Duty has a certain feel of it that most games struggle. Like, you play Call of Duty, you play Battlefield 6. Yeah, they're both military shooters, but they feel completely different to play. That goes into that uniqueness. Some major examples of some failures are, of course, Concord, Anthem, XDefiant. Those are all massive failures that cost their company millions. You know, Ubisoft is still struggling, and while that's not just because of XDefiant, it's a whole other issue. once again, another topic for another video. This goes super in depth.
TACOM, get me a
So
UAV.
that's kind of live service games in a nutshell. This isn't intended to be a comprehensive list of everything. It's more meant to kind of break down live service games and make them fairly easy to understand and go over some of the tactics and honestly why are a lot of them failing. So if there are any topics that you would like me to cover, by all means put them in the comment. I'll take a look at them and
You know
see
the
if I can't
saying,
simplify them
scrub
for you.
and burn.
We underestimated him. RTB to regroup.
Domination. The corporation needs your best today. It is that simple. Securing Charlie.
We're taking this objective.
Securing B. Taking B.
Zone control established. Enemy flashbang. Enemy throwing stun.
We lost B. Hostile UAV established above. Hostile skewer inbound.
Cluster sent.
Locking down Bravo.
ETA. Surveying scanning with scout pulse.
Deploying streamer on your target.
Enemy UAV detected.
I need eyes overhead.
UAV in the sky. Reporting hostile contact.
Hostile UAV established above.
UAV mission timeline. Halfway check.
Bravo capture underway.
EMP, get ready. Inbound grenade. Commencing capture. Easy.
No fuel, no fuel. UAV RTB.
Establish UAV above.
Scout pulse is online.
Taking B.
Throwing cluster.
Enemy UAV detected.
Incoming flashbang.
We're losing Charlie.
Nikolai throwing lock shot.
Securing Zone A.
Didn't take it personally. Until now.
Taking A. Securing Alpha.
Zaveri scanning with scout
Requesting
pulse.
dog on my grid.
Cluster grenade going out.
Securing B.
Get ready? They'll try to knock us off. Enemy cluster grenade.
Establish UAV above.
Cluster sent.
Bravo capture
Captain
underway.
in motion. Hold steady.
Locking down Bravo.
inbound. Sending concussion.
Securing B. All zones lost.
Marking the objective.
Bravo is ours. Locking down Charlie.
Threat removed.
Scout hull standing by.
Scout post is online.
Losing Bravo.
Cover me. Taking the
Taking
objective.
C.
Skewer available for assignment.
Zone C
They're
secure.
designating skewer target.
Losing B. Bravo lost. Zone A secure. Losing A. Losing Charlie. Skewer release detected. We're losing Alpha.
Enemy
Hostile
cluster
UAV
grenade.
established above.
Zaveri requesting
They are
UAV
taking C.
overflight.
UAV perimeter established. Angels 8.
We lost C.
UAV fuel check 50%.
Throwing cluster.
Mission timeline over. UAV exiting the area.
Tossing stun. Enemy trophy system removed.
Securing C.
We're taking this objective. Hostile cluster inbound.
I need eyes overhead.
Securing Charlie.
Scout full strike.
Losing A. We lost all zones. Taking B.
Cover me. Taking the objective.
Enemy UAV detected.
Zaveri scanning with
Hostile
stealth
skewer
mode.
inbound.
Lock shop. Going hot.
We've locked down A.
Submitting care package request.
I need eyes overhead. Scout pulse activated.
We're losing Alpha.
UAV mission authorized.
Stun sent.
Losing A. All zones lost.
Establish UAV above.
Locking down Bravo. Taking Alpha.
Get ready. They'll try to knock us off.
Bravo capture underway. Zone Alpha captured.
Heads up. Hostile inbound.
We're losing Alpha. Locking down Charlie. We lost all zones. Securing B. Securing Zone A.
Marking the objective.
Taking C. They are pressing their advantage. Take control of this. Taking A. Alpha secure. Taking B. All zones lost. All security personnel report to supervisors for evaluation.
Can't fix poor prep with good aim.